Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Fix a Leak Week virtual workshop. This workshop series is brought to you by the City of Dallas, Fort Worth Water, Houston Public Works, the City of Round Rock, and Tarrant Regional Water District. By partnering together, our aim is to bring you a high-quality training event. My name is Ryan Prillman, and I'm a community liaison for Houston Public Works, Houston Water. This is the first part of a two-part series, and today we will be covering indoor leak repair. Be sure to join us for the second part of our program this Thursday the 17th, where we will be covering outdoor leak repair. The link to register for Thursday's workshop is in the chat. We opened a poll question to see where our attendees are joining from. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and fill that out. Tonight we have demonstrations of various types of indoor leak repairs. We also have a couple of plumbing professionals on hand to answer any questions you may have. You can type your questions in the chat box and the experts will answer your questions after the demonstration. We'll try to get to as many questions as we can. This event is being recorded and will be posted online for future review. Before we begin, I'd like to start with a disclaimer. Houston Public Works, City of Dallas, Fort Worth Water, the City of Round Rock, Tarrant Regional Water District, and any of our partners and sponsors do not assume any liability resulting from any attempted home repairs based on this training. Please do your own research, and if in doubt, call a licensed, certified plumbing professional. Additionally, at the end of the program, there will be a quick survey about this event. By completing the survey, you will be eligible to win various water conservation prizes. So make sure to stick around till the end. All right, let's take a look at where we have people joining from. All right, looks like we got most of our people joining from Houston. We got some from Fort Worth, Dallas, Round Rock, and we got some other. Okay. Now, the registration is 872 people registered for this event from 14 different states, and one of the locations is Guam. So if you're tuning in from Guam, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. To kick off tonight's event and give a little bit of background about Fix a Leak Week, we have Beth Livingston. Beth Livingston is the brand manager for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's WaterSense program. She oversees the partner and consumer marketing for the WaterSense program. Beth is responsible for the program's outreach as well as supporting the marketing goals for the homes and outdoor program areas. She also oversees the WaterSense Awards program. Prior to joining the EPA, Beth worked for the United States Postal Service, where she was responsible for several marketing and communication initiatives. Beth has a background in advertising, working for local and national advertising firms. She earned her project management certification through PMI and holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Florida State University. We're honored to have Beth tell us more about WaterSense and the new initiatives they have. Good evening, Beth. Thank you for being with us.
Hey, Ryan, thank you so much for having me. You know, it's so great to see all the WaterSense partners getting together to educate everybody about the household leaks and helping them to repair them. I know your audience is going to be well suited after these next few days to be able to tackle those home leaks. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and get this presentation underway.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I am Beth Livingston, the brand manager for EPA's WaterSense program, which is a voluntary partnership program. WaterSense works with businesses, manufacturers, retailers, and utilities, among others, to provide Americans a choice to live more water efficient and help protect the environment. You probably have heard of our sister program here at EPA, Energy Star. They focus on saving energy And WaterSense focuses on saving water. Today, I will go over a few tools to help you look for easy to find leaks in and around your house and easy fixes you can do on your own. Without further ado, welcome to the 14th annual Fix a Leak Week. Fix a Leak Week is a great time to find and fix common household leaks to save water in and outside your home. Follow the hashtag #FixALeak to find tips and tricks to help you find these leaks, or you can even post what you did during this Fix a Leak week with that hashtag #FixALeak. WaterSense was created because we do need to be aware of the water we use. While more than 70% of the Earth's surface is water, only 1% of that water is available for our use and consumption. Water is a finite resource and we need to protect it and save it for future generations. Don't forget, we can't make water. What we have is what we have. By saving energy and water, you can cut down on your own utility bills, both energy and water. Because saving in water also saves the energy used to heat, treat, and deliver that water to your home. And during droughts or other water supply concerns, there isn't always enough water to go around, so we need to be cognizant of how we can cut down on our water use. So 14 years ago, Fix a Leak Week was developed as a way to bring awareness to finding and fixing some common household leaks. Fix a Leak Week is held every year around the third week of March. This year it is March 14th through the 20th. Every year, common household leaks waste about 1 trillion gallons of water nationwide. You can check for leaks anytime during the year. The good thing is by finding leaks early, you can prevent the shock of a larger water bill later on. And it's easy. We have 3 simple steps. 1, check. 2, twist. And 3, if needed, replace. Check for leaks. Twist to tighten aerators, shower heads, hose connections, and if needed, replace older fixtures with WaterSense label products. WaterSense label products are made by all the manufacturers you know and come in a variety of styles and price points to suit your budget. These products can be found at all your major retailers like Home Depot and Lowe's or online, or ask your plumber to install WaterSense label products. Don't forget to check the WaterSense website at epa.gov/WaterSense and search to see if there happens to be any rebates in your area before you purchase. How do we use water at home? Well, unless you're in one of the drier areas of the country or have a lot of landscape irrigation system, we use most of our water actually indoors. And I'm sure it's no surprise that bathrooms are the largest use of water in the home, using more than 50% of all indoor water. So in the bathroom, leaks can occur in the shower, at the tub, at the faucet, in the toilet, or underneath. You should also check for leaks underneath the faucets and the cabinets. So approximately 5 to 10% of U.S. homes have easy-to-fix leaks that drip away 90 gallons a day or more. Residential outdoor water use across the U.S. accounts for nearly 9 billion gallons of water each day. And this is mainly for landscape irrigation. One of the easiest fixes is to flip your flapper. Many people aren't familiar with what a flapper is or how to replace it, so we created the Flip Your Flapper campaign. The flapper is a simple rubber device that holds water in the tank, then releases water into the bowl when the toilet is flushed. The rubber can wear out, so the flapper should be replaced about every 5 years to ensure a good seal and avoid leaks. Of course, there are always exceptions to the rule. Most toilets have flappers, but there are a few that do not. If you're not sure that your flapper needs replacing but want to ensure your toilet is not wasting water, testing for a toilet leak is simple. Drop a few drops of food coloring or dye tablet into the water into the toilet tank and wait about 10 minutes. If the dye shows up in the bowl, you have a leak. Don't forget to flush afterwards to remove any leftover dye so you don't stain the bowl. If you do need to change that flapper, it's important to take a look in the tank, the back of your toilet to ensure you get the right flapper. Not all flappers are created equal. If you're not sure what size or shape you need, if your toilet even has one, take a photo of the inside of that tank and bring it to your local hardware store. They'll be able to help you. You can also measure the diameter of the drain pipe inside the tank. The drain diameter measures 1 7/8 or 2 3/8. You'll need a 2-inch flapper. But if you're getting closer to the 3-inch range, you need to go ahead and get a 3-inch flapper. Some flappers actually have a float as well. Now, every new flapper does come with a chain, which hooks to the flush arm and lifts the flapper to release the water to the bowl. It's important that the chain isn't too tight, or it might not allow the flapper to fully drop, and seal after flushing. Likewise, if it's too loose, it might not actually lift up or properly seal and cover the drain pipe hole. So test it by flushing with the tank lid off and make sure the flapper drops and seals the pipe hole completely without too much flap. As we have seen, leaks can be found in other places around the home. So we want to take 10 minutes and find leaks around your home today if you can. One way is to look at your winter water bill. If it is more than 12,000 gallons for a family of 4, you most likely have a leak. Look for dripping faucets in bathrooms, kitchens, bars, laundry rooms. Look for water pooling under cabinets and tighten showerhead connections to prevent water leaks. If your irrigation system is running, you can look for broken sprinkler heads, which could be damaged from winter weather, lawnmowers, from pet, or even human feet walking on top of them. Don't forget, when you head back to the office, you can also look for leaks in bathrooms, outdoors, kitchens, etc. If you find one, report it to your facility or building manager. They will thank you for it. It is easy to replace your shower head, switch out a faucet aerator, or change out a flapper. WaterSense has a YouTube channel that showcases how easy it is to fix these. Once you see the video, you'll wonder why you hadn't done it before. These videos can be found at the EPA YouTube WaterSense playlist, or you can try to note this bit.ly, and then again, it'll just be easy to search up on YouTube for EPA's WaterSense. If you prefer to go around with a handy checklist, we also have that for you. You can download it and print it, and then you can take it with you as you walk around the various areas of your house, and you can kind of note what you checked or if you find a leak. This checklist can be found in our water section of the website under Fix a Leak Week. So once you have purchased your new WaterSense labeled shower head, it is easy to replace the old one in just 4 steps. Step 1, remove the old shower head. You can use a wrench or a set of pliers. Step 2, we clean off the thread. You can use a toothbrush or a cloth. Step 3, apply plumber's tape. That's a white tape that you get at your home supply store. And make sure you put it on clockwise. And step 4, just twist on that new WaterSense labeled shower head. If you need to tighten it, put a towel over it so that when you go to tighten it, you don't scratch the finish on the outside of the shower head. It's also easy to change out the aerator as well. Remember, you want to cover the drain, either put down the cover of the drain or put down a cloth or something. You can remove the aerator. It should just twist off. Possibility the little rubber washer might get stuck on it, to go ahead and pull that off as well. And if you're not quite sure which aerator to buy, once you've already taken off your aerator, you can take that to your home store and purchase the right aerator for you. And if for some reason the aerator is actually stuck on the faucet, we would suggest go ahead and wrapping that with cloth as well to help kind of loosen it to get it moving and get it off. And then again, just twist on that new aerator and you're ready to go. So for our junior leak detectives, we have activity sheets and worksheets to help in finding water waste. You can take your kids around the house so they can help you spot those pesky leaks. These worksheets can be found in the kids section on the homepage of the WaterSense website, which is again epa.gov/WaterSense. You can download and print these materials for your own use. We also have a kids game on the website. It's played like the Pac-Man of old. They have to work their way around pipes and avoid water wasting monsters. And when they get to a safe spot, they are provided a couple of questions about saving water. This game can be played as many times as they like to get a high score and test their water knowledge. Saving water can be a year-round. It doesn't have to end with Fix a Leak Week. Join us and take the 2022 pledge for ways to save water all year long. You can also sign up for our newsletter to get all things WaterSense. Hope you found today's presentation helpful. Here are the links for the website again, and we'd love it if you'd follow us on Twitter or Facebook. So we have the English and the Spanish site. And again, if you're looking for WaterSense label products, look for the WaterSense label up there and you will know you'll be getting a WaterSense product. And again, have a great Fix a Leak week and thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you for the presentation. Now, Beth mentioned WaterSense labels. These are great for conserving water. I use WaterSense label shower heads in my bathroom in my home. It reduces the amount of water that we use in the home, and we've definitely seen savings on the water bill. Do we have any questions for Beth Livingston? Now, I know we had a question from Sharon Thomas about grabbing screenshots. So this presentation will be available. We're recording it, so it'll be available later for review. All right. Let's see. I don't see any questions.
That's fine. If there are any that come in, just shoot me an email and we'll make sure we get everything answered up for you.
Thank you so much, Beth, for being here.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Next. Wait a minute. Oh, we got a question for you, Beth. All right. Why does the agency not advertise more of water saving to the public? That's from Rosa Alvarez.
So Rosa, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but the WaterSense label products actually save 20% or more on your water. So that will translate to your water bill. And it also helps save on energy because you've got hot water, right? So if you're using 20% hot water, that's less hot water you're heating. And also it gets treated and, moved from place to place. That also that energy to move the water is also going to be reduced. Everybody is different on their water bills and what's charged for water. So something you might get charged for in one area won't be exactly the same. So it's not exactly apples for us to say that you will save exactly X amount of money on your bill. So like we say 20% because we know that's what you will save with the products, and they perform as well or better than standard products, and they don't actually cost anything more. And you can get it in any style, anything you want for your better bathroom.
Thank you, Beth. Also, we got a couple more questions, but these are kind of the same. Where could we find this information via PDF, or can the presentation slides be emailed? What do you think, Beth?
Well, I know you're going to have the presentation available depending on what you're looking for. I said our videos are on our YouTube channel. If you go to epa.gov/WaterSense, under our water is a Fix a Leak Week tab, and that will tell you all the Fix a Leak Week stuff. It's got the videos as well that I showed. We've got, if you're looking for, I know you're not talking it outdoor to next week, but we've got Find a Pro for if you're looking for somebody on outdoor. There's information on products on our homepage as well. So if you're trying to find out a little bit more about toilets or shower heads or faucets, you can find all that information as well.
All right. Thank you, Beth, for being with us. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. And thank you for all of the information.
Thank you. And if anybody is out there fixing leaks this week, go ahead and tweet us at EPA WaterSense with the hashtag #FixALeak. We'd love to see it. So good luck, everyone. Thanks.
All right. So a little bit later, we have our leak professionals. So I got a few questions for our leak professionals that have come up in the question box. But before we do that, we're going to hear from Rooted In, a private company which provides horticultural services, environmental education, and sustainable landscaping. Daniel Cunningham and his daughter Emmy are going to be showing how to detect some common leaks in your home. Let's watch.
Fix a Leak Week. So easy, a kid can help do it. Did you know household leaks can account for nearly 10,000 gallons of water wasted every year? And 10% of homes have leaks that waste up to 90 gallons or more per day. Oh no! These types of leaks are often easy to fix, requiring only a few tools and hardware that can pay for themselves in water savings. In the bathroom, listen for water running in the toilets. A leaky flapper is easy to replace. Listen for faucet drips and turn on the tap to check for water leaks. Replacing an O-ring or a washer might be needed. Turn on the tub, then divert the water in the shower to see if there's a lot of water coming from the tub spout. That could mean the tub spout diverter needs replacing. Look for shower drips or sprays that can be stopped with Teflon tape. If your tub or shower head continues to drip when you're finished, the valve cartridge might need to be repaired or replaced. In the kitchen, listen for faucet drips and tighten aerators or replace fixtures if necessary. If the kitchen faucet has a sprayer, check to make sure the water is spraying smoothly. Under the sink, check for pooling water under pipes and look for rust around joints and edges.
No leaks.
Don't forget to check for pooling water underneath dishwashers and in refrigerators with ice makers. In the laundry room, check for pooling water surrounding the clothes washer, which could indicate a supply line leak. In the utility closet, check the water heater tank for pooling water or for rust and other signs of leakage. For more information on how you and your family can chase down household leaks, visit epa.gov/watersense/fix-a-leak-week.
No leaks.
All right. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Emmy, for showing us how to find some leaks. Special thanks to Rooted In for that demonstration. Identifying leaks is the first step to conducting your own DIY repairs, do it yourself. Saving money and water. Remember, you will be charged on your water bill for all water lost due to leaks. Leaky faucets, toilets, or any other type of leaks in your home will cost you over time. Additionally, identifying leaks can prevent small issues from becoming bigger problems that result in expensive plumbing repairs. That brings me to the next segment of our program. We got a few questions for the experts in here, so let me introduce our experts. This is our Ask Me Anything with our in-house plumbing professionals, Mr. Robert Revias and Mr. Luis Cavillo. First, let me tell you a little bit about Robert. Robert began working for the city of Dallas in 2013, where he worked in system services for Dallas Water Utilities. In 2017, he joined the city's water conservation division as the plumbing inspector for the minor plumbing repair program. Prior to coming to the city of Dallas, Robert was a project manager for a local general contracting company. Robert utilizes his extensive project management experience and his knowledge of plumbing and water conservation to assist Dallas residents in becoming more efficient water users. Robert enjoys interacting with customers to help them resolve their plumbing issues and relishes the opportunity to positively impact the city of Dallas residents through his work. Our second plumbing professional with us tonight is Mr. Luis Cavillo. Luis is an experienced plumber who has been working for A-Star since 2012. A-Star has been operating in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex for nearly 20 years and have proudly served the cities of Dallas and Fort Worth with their low-income and water conservation programs. Luis started as a plumber's helper with the Water Conservation Department, and has worked his way into the position of senior water conservation plumber. Luis works assisting the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex residents in A-Star's low-income municipality water conservation program. Luis is the primary plumber on all of the jobs for the NPR Water Conservation Division for the City of Dallas, as well as Fort Worth Water Conservation Program. Robert and Luis are going to show us the most common tools you will need for the demonstrations covered in tonight's workshop. Thank you both for being with us this evening. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. This evening, we'll be viewing demonstrations on the most common water leaks that can occur inside your home and how to make repairs. You will need these tools to make these repairs. You will need an adjustable wrench. Okay. Next, we have adjustable pliers. Make sure that they don't have teeth so that you don't scratch your fixtures. A flathead Phillips screwdriver, or a cross, they may call it, and a flathead screwdriver. Allen headset, okay. Vice grips, and also plumbing tape. Everybody see that? Okay. And also a cotton towel. You need one. Okay. If you do need to replace the toilet, lavatory faucet, shower head, or aerator, please make sure that it has a WaterSense label. Okay. Back to you, Ryan.
All right, Robert, Luis, thank y'all for being with us. Hey, we got some questions. We got some questions in there. Actually, you can keep your camera on, Robert.
Okay.
So, all right, first question. My toilet has stopped filling flushing. It's a water-saving toilet. That's from Jarita Lattimore. Jarita, we're going to cover that toilet repair up next. So maybe we might be able to answer that question for you. Next question. I'm in the process of replacing bathroom faucets. After getting past hard to remove nuts and replacing the faucet, there seems to a leak elsewhere. What else should I try, or should I call a plumber? What do you think, Robert?
Was that a leak elsewhere? I didn't catch that last part.
She says she thinks she has a leak elsewhere after she replaced the bathroom faucets and getting past the hard to remove nuts, and she's still
like
having
in her pipes, possibly.
I'm not sure. She didn't say.
Yeah, if replacing the faucets didn't correct the problem, she could have a leak in the walls, in the copper pipes. She may need to call a plumber. I don't know if she wants to get involved in doing some soldering, you know.
Okay. Next question. Does Teflon tape need to be replaced every time a tub spout, shower head, etc. is removed? That's from Mr. Paul Dobbins.
Yes.
All right. All right. My toilet makes a hissing noise after flushing. What does this mean, and how do I fix this? I think we'll cover it. We're going to try to cover that in the next segment. All right. Okay. Yeah. She says, Lynn, who had the issue that we talked about earlier, says yes, behind the valve, even behind in the pipes, she has copper pipes. So she's still seeing some leaking. You think she should call a plumber?
Yeah, she's probably has some leaks, or the soldering's worn out in, you know, the fittings there. You know, or this copper pipe does go bad with the sediments and, you know, the calcium and deposits in the water. So there could be a possibility that at the connection, the solder has broken and it's leaking. So yeah, I would advise calling a plumber.
All right. Okay, so that's all of the questions for now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep. You're welcome.
Let's move on to the next part. All right, so we're going to see how you can detect leak if your toilet is leaking. That's going to be our next demonstration. We can go ahead and play the video for that.
Hi there, I'm Jessica Woods, the city's water conservation coordinator, and we're here in the bathroom today because the bathroom is the largest water using room inside the house, mainly due to the toilet. The toilet is the highest water using device inside a house because everybody uses it multiple times a day. So let's check and see how efficient your toilet is and how many gallons per flush it's using. So we can do that two different ways. And the first way is just to check and see when that toilet was made. So you can do that by just taking the lid off the toilet. A lot of times the date is stamped on the lid or inside the toilet. This toilet was made on August the 2nd of 2012. The date is stamped right there on the lid. And any toilet made since 1996 is really considered an efficient toilet. So if your date is before 1996, it's really using more water than it needs to, and you should really replace it with the modern toilet. The second way we can check the toilet to see how much water it's using is simply looking to see if the gallons is written on the toilet. And a lot of toilets do have it written right here behind the seat in the small space. It says Kohler. This toilet says Kohler. It's a Kohler-made toilet. And then it says 1.6 gallons per flush. So again, this one is an efficient toilet, just over 1.5 gallons to flush the toilet. The second thing we're gonna do now is check our toilet to make sure it's not leaking. A lot of times you can hear the sound of the toilet leaking, but again, a lot of times you can't. So we're gonna check it just to make sure it's not. There's 2 real easy things you can do to check it. That's use food coloring, or the city gives away these free dye tablets at the utility billing office to check the toilets for leaks, and that's what we're gonna use today. So the first thing we're gonna do is take off the lid to the toilet. We're gonna drop 1 tablet inside the tank of the toilet, and it's gonna change the color blue because the dye tablet is blue. And then we're gonna wait. Really, you wanna wait as long as possible. If you're not gonna flush the toilet, we're gonna wait maybe 5 to 10 minutes to see then if the water in the bowl in the bottom part of the toilet turns blue. If you see blue in the toilet bowl, that means your flapper is leaking and you do need to replace that flapper. So this is a flapper, the red portion. When you flush the toilet, it opens up and then it closes back down. So if that isn't sealing properly, then it's letting water go in and it's continuously running, and that's a huge waste of water. So you can find a new flapper, this red portion again, at any home improvement store, and really when you're going to the store, you want to know what brand your current toilet is so you can search for the right thing. The city periodically offers rebates for the replacement of old toilets with new efficient toilets. You can find that information on our website as well as other water conservation tips at roundrocktexas.gov/waterconservation.
All right, special thanks goes out to the city of Round Rock and Jessica Woods for that demonstration. Great information on how to determine if you have a leaky toilet. Also, if you don't have access to leak detection dye tablets, you can use food coloring, preferably blue food coloring. When you have the opportunity, check toilets in your home to make sure you have a WaterSense labeled toilet. By replacing old inefficient toilets with WaterSense labeled models, the average family can reduce the use in the bathroom between 20 to 60% water use, of course. That's nearly 13,000 gallons of water savings on average for your home every year. Next, we're going to watch a demonstration on how to address the most common cause of a leaking toilet, and that is the flapper. Let's cue the video.
Okay, changing out the flapper can be for a bunch of different reasons, but primarily if you notice that water is running from the tank into the bowl and it doesn't seem to seal, if you put your finger over the top of that flapper and push down on it and the water stops flowing, then that's a pretty good indicator that you need to replace the flapper. Okay, with the water shut off, changing the flapper out is a pretty easy project. You're gonna take the chain off of the handle first. There's a clip there that you're gonna just gently remove. And some of the water is gonna flush out of there. Now, the clips, the way that these are, is they're kind of clipped on the bottom. So you're gonna pop those clips off, and this is the flapper. Now, this one obviously is brand new, but here's the thing. There are many different kinds of flappers on the market, and even though they say universal, it's a really good idea to bring this into the hardware store so that you can match it up perfectly so you get the right one to reinstall. Now, before you install the new flapper, take a sponge or a towel And this portion of the flush valve, I want you to just sort of clean that all up because there can be gunk or sediment that's in there. And you want to make sure that your new flush valve, the right one, is going to seat well and do the job that you want it to do. Now with the new one here, you're going to place that back inside and put it right over the top of the valve, and then you're going to push down on the little tabs that are just going to click back into place. I know it's hard to see, but they clip back in place. Then on the end of that chain, you want to make sure that you clip it back on. And here's the thing. You see the little slack that's in the chain? You want to make sure that you maintain that. You don't want it to be tight because you want the weight of the flapper to close firmly as it fills up with water. And with a little bit of slack, when you move this up and down, the arm should travel a good 2 inches or so. Then it's set. You should notice that no longer is any water leaking into the tank, and you've just replaced your flapper.
All right. It's a simple and easy repair. Okay, so let's get to some of these questions. Hey, Robert, we got a couple more questions for you. All right. First question is, my toilet makes hissing noises after flushing. What does this mean and how do I fix this?
I was turning on the mic. I didn't catch the whole question, Ryan. Could you repeat it, please?
Absolutely. Jenny says, my toilet makes hissing noises after flushing. What does this mean and how do I fix this?
This fill valve could need replacing. This wears out. And a lot of times or your flapper's leaking, and this thing will actually fill the toilet bowl back up because it thinks the tank level needs to be at a certain level. So this will actually activate and start filling up and putting water in the tank.
All right, I got another question for you. How often should the flapper be changed?
I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 years, but if you put the chlorine, those tidy bowl things in there, that has chlorine, and it definitely wears out the flapper a lot sooner because that tablet has chlorine. I don't recommend putting that in the tank, but a lot of people do, where they change the water to blue, but that has chlorine. So if you're doing that, probably every 2 years. Other than that, normally 3 to 5.
All right, I got time for one more question from Ashley. My water bill suddenly increased. There's no visible leak I can see or hear. Did the water leak test with food coloring. No, the results indicated no leak. What are my next steps?
Check your water meter and see if there's movement on the water meter. I don't have a water key, but you can get one at a hardware store, so you can remove the lid and outside the house, either in the front yard, some are in the alley, in the backyard, the water meter. So you get the key, take the lid off. Sometimes there's a little sprocket, a red sprocket or a red triangle. If you have everything shut off in the home, you're not running your dishwasher, you're not washing clothes or anything like that, and that triangle or red sprocket is moving, then there's a possibility you have a leak that you can't see. It's not visible. So it's either in the walls or underneath your house.
All right, we got a comment from Barbara. She says, guys, it's okay to smile. So let's give Barbara a smile. All
Sorry
right.
about that.
Nah, she was talking to me too. All right, so thanks, Robert and Luis. Let's move on. All right, thank you to the experts. Our next demonstration covers how to replace the toilet fill valve, another common cause of a leaking toilet. Let's watch.
If your toilet is constantly running or leaking, it may be time to replace your fill valve. Here's what you'll need to make this quick, inexpensive repair. First, you'll need to shut off the water supply, then flush the toilet to empty the tank. Remove the lid and float ball, then use a sponge or towel to remove any remaining water. Next, with an adjustable wrench, unscrew the mounting nut that holds the old assembly in place, then take out the old valve. To prep your new assembly, adjust the height so that the marking on top of the new fill valve is at least 1 inch above the toilet's overflow tube. To install the new valve, insert the shank into the tank opening and push down while tightening the lock nut below. Next, you should trim or bend the refill tube as needed, then reattach the angle adapter and refill tube to the overflow pipe. Finally, reconnect the supply line, and as the tank fills, check the water level. While you're at it, look for leaks and tighten connections if necessary. Good luck!
All right. It's pretty simple how to replace the fill valve. But remember, like I said earlier, do your own research. There's a lot of videos and a lot of information out there to do your own research so that you can become more confident and competent in doing these repairs. All right, so we got our experts here. Let's take a look at the questions. Do I need to turn off the water flow and empty the tank before I remove the flapper to take it to the store and find the correct replacement?
Yes.
No, you don't have to. On the flapper, no.
Oh,
You don't
but-
have to.
okay.
Yeah, if it's on the flapper, you don't have to.
You don't have to? Okay.
No. Only if
All
it's the flush valve.
I'm sorry.
Only if it's this valve right here, yes. But if it's just the flapper, no, you don't have to.
Okay. What if there is water where the meter is?
Inside the meter, where the water meter is,
Yes.
yeah, that could be a leak on the city side. If it's a leak on your side, bad news is that you'll have to cover that leak if it's the water coming. But you can call your local municipality, your water department, and ask for the meter department, and they can come check.
All right. Alfonso has a question. What causes the toilet bowl to lose water?
Toilet bowl to lose water? Well, it could be the flapper, or a lot of times this fill valve has an adjustment here that you can adjust the water level and raise the water level, or it could be the flapper is bad.
All right, so a lot of these repairs come down to the flapper, it seems like, in a lot of situations.
It's the most common thing that usually leaks. I would say 90% of your leaks are the flapper. You know, water destroys everything, so, you know, they wear out eventually.
And especially if the flapper is plastic.
Plastic or rubber, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Robert and Luis. We're going to move on to our next segment. This is our last toilet repair demonstration. It's going to show us how to replace your toilet gasket.
If you have a two-piece toilet like this and you notice water coming in here between the tank and the base of the bowl, then there's a good chance that you have to replace the gasket that connects the two pieces of china. This involves loosening bolts that hold the two pieces together. You're going to need to turn the water off first and disconnect the water line to be able to separate this tank and empty it before you do all of this. The 2 bolts or 3 bolts that hold it in place need to be loosened with a combination of either a pair of pliers and a screwdriver or a wrench, depending on the type of fastener that's holding it in place. You'll loosen all that up, and then the easiest thing to do is to actually sit on the toilet turned backwards and then grab the tank and pull it apart. Once that's out, you flip it over and you'll see that gasket that may be worn out or decayed. You're going to get the new gasket, put that in place, make sure it's all cleaned up around the perimeter of that, flip the tank back over, gently place it back into the bowl, and then use the new fasteners to tie it all back together. And you want to tighten that down nice and firmly. And keep in mind that you want to make sure that the tank itself is plumb. It's not like cocked off to one side. So you may have to tighten one of the bolts a little bit tighter than the other. But once it's all set and you reconnect the water line and fill it back up, check for leaks, and you should be done.
All right. After watching that demonstration, I feel confident I can replace the toilet gasket. If your toilet doesn't have the WaterSense label, then it may be time to replace the toilet gasket and the toilet. All right, let's look at the chat and see if we have any more questions. All right. Doesn't look like we have any questions for the time being, but I have a question. All right, so are all the gaskets the same size?
No, they are not. There's two different sizes. We have the 2 inches and 3 inches.
Okay, and that's for the flapper. What about the gaskets?
The gasket is the same thing, depends on the toilet you have, because it's a size, this is 2-inch size, but it depends on the brand of the toilet. If it's cooler or another different brand, it's 3-inch, so it's different.
So this gasket can be 3 inches. This is a 2-inch flush valve, fill valve.
Okay.
Yes.
So
they do come in different sizes, 2 or 3.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Would you recommend I take the gasket into the hardware store, the old one, to match it up with a new one?
Oh, yes.
Sure,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Thank you both for your expertise. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is a quick message from the Environmental Protection Agency. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and pause for a poll question. Take time to answer this question on the screen. The question is as follows. What is the most common cause of toilet leaks? We kind of covered this already. And while y'all answer that, Robert, I got a couple more questions for you. All right, first question. If there's a problem with the tank, can you buy tanks separate from the toilet?
Yes, but it does need to be the same brand.
It's got to be the same brand. All right.
Yeah, and you can't put a 3-inch with a 2-inch because the gasket, the hole in the bowl is going to be a little bit smaller or larger. So yeah, it's recommended to keep the same model tank with the bowl as well.
All right, awesome. All right, can you crack the porcelain if you tighten it too tight, hand tight? Is there any way to crack the porcelain on your toilet by tightening it too
Yes,
tight?
yes. When you're actually installing the toilet, the bolts that hold the toilet and the base on the bowl, if you over tighten those, you can crack the base, the porcelain.
All right, and this last question before we get to the answers to our quick poll. All right, we already answered that one. If you see some rust on the floor around the base of the toilet, but no water, does that indicate a leak?
It could be stoppage, you know, that's coming up, you know, through the drain. They could be causing that rust. It could be the wax ring that's worn out as well. You know,
Okay.
you may want to take the toilet out and replace the wax ring. And a lot of times the flange is cracked. You have to replace the flange. That gets somewhat involved.
All right, thank you, Robert. All right, so let's go ahead and close our poll and see what the answers. All right, so 91% of the participants got the answer right. Looks like we're becoming toilet repair experts. So that's it for toilet repairs. Let's move on to faucet leak repairs. Up next, we'll be watching a demonstration on how to fix a leaking faucet. Let's take a look. All right. Hope everyone feels a little more competent repairing their leaky faucets after watching that demonstration. If not, like I said earlier, remember to do your own research until you feel confident in performing the repair. All right, so we do have some questions. Let's get to the questions. All right. Would a full toilet system replacement require help, or can it be done DIY or do it yourself?
You can. The toilets get somewhat heavy, but you can. You know, sometimes you have to line up the bolts to make sure that it hits the bolt holes on the base. That gets kind of tricky sometimes. But if a lot of times they have these little washers that'll hold that bolt in place so it doesn't move on you. But those toilets with the tank, once you assemble them together, they can get a little heavy. But yeah, you definitely can do it.
So would you think it would be a one-man job or a two-man job? Sound like a two-man job would be more.
Yeah, if you want
More
to,
safe.
if you want to make it easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do toilets pretty much do the same thing as far as saving water, or are there different types which are better for water conservation?
Different types.
There's different types. I mean, they're trying to go away from, earlier, I think the 90s, they have the 1.6. Now they're going to the 1.28 gallons per flush. And now Niagara has come out with a 0.80 that uses even less water. It just depends on your preference and the performance of the toilet. A lot of times, the less water, you don't get the flush power you want, but some toilets seem to work a lot better. As far as I know, Niagara's the only one that has come out with a 0.80. And we provide toilets for apartment complexes. And a lot of times nowadays, the lender is requiring that they use those 0.80s.
So that's the most the
That's-
smallest toilet, the smallest tank available, I guess.
It's not the tank, it's just the amount of water per flush is 0.80. That's really less than a gallon of water.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. All right, on to the rest of these questions. When repairing my toilet gasket, I noticed a crack in the tank. Do I need to replace the toilet?
Replace the tank if you want. You need the same brand.
So just the tank then? Okay.
Same brand.
All right. Can the rust be coming from the bolts that hold the toilet to the floor? Do you guys ever see rusty bolts on the floor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The rust is hard to get off. You could try making a baking soda vinegar solution with a brush and let it sit there, but that rust is hard, especially if you have tile floor. It stains it pretty bad.
Okay. Should you hand tighten or use a wrench for all fittings?
I would say hand tight and then do a little snug, maybe another quarter of a turn, half a turn to make it snug, but definitely do not over tighten. You can always, if you're talking about a toilet and the base, you can get that pretty snug. You want to do one side a little bit so that it sits flat and even. And then you do the other side. You want to tighten that nut down a little bit. And then you can always kind of get on top of it and move the bowl with your hands. And if it's still loose, well, obviously tighten it until it doesn't move anymore or wobble.
All right. So another question. We got a gang of questions coming in now. The floor around the toilet is getting water damage. Which part needs fixing?
Has to be take it off the toilet and check the connection between the toilet and the flange, because it's probably damaged on or stoppage on the floor, or the wax ring. Replace the wax ring.
Replace the wax ring, yeah. Again, it could be stoppage where the water's just not going and it's coming up through the drain, just not draining. And it's seeping out through the bottom.
Okay. I got one more question for this segment. My kitchen faucet was fine, but suddenly I have very low water flow. What's causing this? I also had another question that's similar that was about the faucet. They didn't use the faucet for a long time, and now it's very low water pressure. What could be causing that?
That one is for the aerator. You have
The
to take it
aerator?
off the aerator, yeah, because most of the tank has a little bit stuff around here, so it has to be take it off.
They could be sediment buildup inside you can definitely clean it. You can see it. That's in your pipe, the city pipes, the sediment that comes off. That's what the screen is for inside the aerator. If you can see that, there's a little bitty screen in there. I know it's hard to see, but that can get full of sediment that comes from your pipes. You can brush that out, or you can replace the whole aerator. They're pretty cheap. And that should improve, because once you take this off, you can turn your water, and if you got good water pressure, then it's more than likely it's your aerator that's either clogged up. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a aerator demonstration coming up in a little bit. Thank you guys. We're gonna go to the next segment, which is our next demonstration. Let's move on to the shower head. We're gonna be watching two videos back to back. One will cover repairing a leaky shower head, and the next video will be replacing the shower head. Let's take a look.
Learning how to change a shower head is a simple task that only takes a few minutes. Follow these simple steps to install a fixed mount, handheld, or dual combination shower head. Here's what you'll need. To remove the old shower head, try turning counterclockwise by hand. If you can't remove it by hand, wrap the jaws of slip joint pliers with electrical tape to protect the finish, then grip the shower arm with the pliers. Then, use an adjustable wrench to loosen and unscrew the old shower head. Clean off any rust, mineral deposits, old tape, or leftover sealant on the shower arm threads. When installing a fixed head shower head, first, wrap thread seal tape in a clockwise direction 2 or 3 times around the threads of the shower arm. Press the tape into the threads. Screw the fixed shower head replacement onto the shower arm and tighten. Turn on the water and check for leaks. If leaks occur, wrap with thread seal tape and carefully tighten with an adjustable wrench until there are no leaks. Attaching a handheld shower head is similar. After you screw the handheld shower mount onto the shower arm, connect the flexible hose to the mount and to the shower head. Then, place the shower head in the mount. To install a combo shower head, first attach a diverter that routes water from the shower head to the shower arm. Then screw the fixed mount shower head onto the end of the diverter and connect the flexible shower hose. A new shower head can reduce water use and save you money on your next bill.
All right, remember, whenever replacing a shower head, always look for the WaterSense logo. All right, so let's get to these questions. We got some more for the experts. Okay. If I lose a bolt, where can I get a new one?
Probably Home Depot or Lowe's. What type of bolt?
I think it's a bolt to fasten the toilet to the floor.
Yeah, they sell that in like a little kit, 2 bolts, and yeah.
All right. How do you know what cartridge to get? Are there different types? I'm not sure what type of cartridge he means.
Probably for the faucet. You would have to, you would probably take it in to a plumbing supply store. And sometimes it has the brand of the faucet down here at the bottom. And sometimes a lot of the old ones, the brand could be down. On this one, it's here. Some of them have them there. A lot of the old ones, I would recommend just replacing the faucet, because you're gonna have a hard time finding that cartridge if you've had that faucet. Yeah.
Okay, next question. When fixing a common household leak or leaks, is it necessary to turn off the home's main water line or just the water supply valve connected to the unit?
You have to make sure the shut off is working good, because most of the time when you turn on and off from here, it's leaking from the handle. So you have to turn off from the street.
Yeah, because a lot of times if you haven't
If it's pretty old,
moved that and nobody really goes over there and shuts it off and turns it on. And when you do that, it hasn't been turned off or turned back on in a long time, your cutoff valve usually leaks. So if it does that, it needs to be replaced. And if you have to replace that, you have to shut the water off at the meter. But if you have good operational cutoff valves on all your fixtures throughout the house, then yeah, you could just shut it off there at the cutoff. And you don't have to shut off the water to the rest of the house.
If it's old house, it's pretty much galvanized.
Yeah.
So it's probably leaking.
Yeah.
All right. There's a leak at the shower handle, but the screw is stripped. What's the best way to remove it?
From the brand of the faucet. Breakfast.
I mean, it's several different types of shower handles, but I guess she says the screw is stripped. She can't get, she probably needs to call a plumber, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't take the screw out. Is it a single handle or faucet or?
Yes, it's a single handle. It's a single handle. It's a shower handle, a single shower handle.
Yeah. They probably need to go in the wall from the other side and just take the entire faucet out. Or cut it. Just cut it off.
Okay. So it says the city of Dallas offers 2 free newer toilets. Is that true?
Yes, it is. 2 toilets free per household on our new Throne for Your Home program.
Okay. And is it the 0.8s he was talking about earlier?
No, it's a 1.28. They're ProFlow toilets.
All right. Do they
also? All our toilets do have the WaterSense label. They're made by Ferguson.
Okay.
They're 1.28 gallons per flush.
All right.
2-inch flush valve.
Do they recommend good plumbers to install them? So I guess, do you guys have any recommendations for people to come out and install them, or do y'all install them yourself? How does that work?
On our minor plumbing repair program, A-Star Plumbing, Luis is our certified contractor with the city. I believe they have a 5-year contract with us, and they do install all our toilets on our minor plumbing repair side. For the apartment complex, they have to install them. And on the new Throne for Your Home, if you get a voucher and you receive toilets from Ferguson, then you're responsible for installing those.
All right. If there's water dripping to the floor, seemingly from under the tank, what is the fix?
Do we check the screws on the tank? The screws on here Or here, or check the gasket.
Sometimes you can just put your hand underneath here, and if it's wet on either side of the screw, it's probably the rubber washer inside there, it's probably worn out. The rubber washer looks like this. We'll show you. There's the gasket that we covered earlier. Could be there. No, the screw, the tank screws. I'm going to open this up. Here is the, can everyone see that? There's a rubber washer here. That could be, sorry, that could be worn out. So that goes inside the tank. And then you have a metal washer. So this would go inside the tank. And then this washer would go on the outside. Sorry, this kind of, everyone see that? See that washer? And then of course you have your nut that you would screw here. Sorry. Kind of hard to hold there. There we go.
All right, so I just want to let y'all know the city of Fort Worth also offers the same program, correct? I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I,
Yes.
okay. So how many wraps of plumber's tape or the Teflon tape is usually needed for a good seal?
2 or 3. 2 or 3 times around. Yes.
Okay. My neighbor told me to replace my P-trap. Can you replace the P-trap?
Yes, you can.
Mhm.
All right. How to replace washer for shower faucet, hot and cold?
Probably from the back of
That's how the question reads. All right,
Hey,
let's move
well,
on.
if it's a stem, there's a seat that sits in behind the stem. On a shower, if it's a shower, we don't have a stem here to demonstrate, but there's a seat at the end of the stem that when you turn the water off and on, that seat closes the water off, and that could be leaking if it's a tub faucet. But then we have a faucet here.
We unscrew it from here.
The pack nut.
And you can see the stem.
Of course, the stem is a little different on a bathtub faucet.
All right.
That's just stem right here. But this for the faucet.
Or cartridge. Yeah, or cartridge, faucet cartridge.
All right, this is my last question for this segment. If I don't use plumber's tape or Teflon tape when replacing my shower head, will the shower head leak?
Yes.
All right. Thank you to the experts for that segment. Let's move on to a poll question. All right, so we have a poll question here. How many gallons of water can the average family save per year by installing WaterSense labeled shower heads? So while y'all answer that question, Robert, I'm gonna ask you one more question while our audience is answering the poll question.
Okay.
Okay, so when shower head turns on, water leaks on tub faucet. How do I fix that?
It probably replace the shower valve or the diverter's bad. It just depends. If you have a 3 handle, you have a shower, you know, the valve, the handle in the middle is what controls what comes to through the tub spout or through the shower. Or it has, like the video showed, that little pop-up. Those things wear out all the time. So a lot of times you'll get water out of your tub spout and not a lot of pressure out of your shower head. So you probably need to replace that valve, or you can also replace the tub spout, which gets involved. Some of them screw in, some of them slide in, and some of them are soldered in.
All right. One more question before we get to the results of our poll. The stopper in my basin is closed and I can't get it to open back up. How can I get it to come back up?
The stopper in the lavatory in the basement, meaning the lavatory sink, it more than likely, if you push up or down, it probably disconnected from the tailpipe underneath the sink. If it's not operating anymore, that happened. That's pretty common too.
Okay, thank you to our experts. We're gonna go ahead and check out this poll. All right. So 36% got the answer correct. 2,700 gallons per year is what you can save by installing a WaterSense labeled shower head. It's a lot of water. Our final repair video is going to show us how to install an aerator. We talked about the aerator a little bit. It was a couple of questions that came in. Replacing old inefficient faucets and aerators with WaterSense labeled models can save the average family 700 gallons of water per year, equal to the amount of water needed to take 45 showers. Achieving these savings can be as easy as twisting on a WaterSense labeled aerator, which can cost as little as a few dollars. Let's watch this quick video showing you how easy it really is. All right, so we're back, and Robert and Luis, we have more questions.
Okay.
If I'm going to replace my entire faucet, can I choose any faucet, or is there a certain size that I have to stick with?
Yes, you can choose anyone because it's the same size. It depends on, we're talking about faucets, lavatory faucets, or?
It doesn't say, but let's go with sink faucets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be a 4-inch spread, but you do have it depends on what type of lavatory sink you have. This is a standard 4-inch, and it's a 2-handle, or this can come standard 4-inch with a single handle.
Yeah.
And then they have also an 8-inch spread where these are separated 8 inches.
And I assume the 8-inch is more for the kitchen, correct?
No, it's for they come for the lavatory.
Ah.
Yeah,
right.
For the bathrooms.
Okay, I have a 2-bowl sink in the kitchen that is serviced by a single faucet assembly that can move back and forth to both sinks. It doesn't move easily. There appears to be a rubber washer at the base of the faucet where it meets the granite countertop. Should the rubber washer be replaced to make it move more freely?
Rubber washing, yes.
All right. All right, so I'm getting I'm not sure. I don't know if we offer the city of Houston. I'm getting questions if the city of Houston offers a free toilet program, you know. So I think we might have to. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if we do. I don't think we do, but that sounds like something that we would have to implement. All right. Do you need to put sealant between the toilet bowl and the floor?
Caulking, yes,
On the base.
around the base.
Okay, so it's
So you
caulking.
don't have a gap. Yeah, it's caulking, white caulking.
Right. Do you have to be a Dallas resident to get the free toilets?
Yes, you have to have a City of Dallas water account.
Gotcha. What about like mud districts? Do y'all have mud districts in Dallas Municipal Utility District where, or you know, they may pay like a third party, or do you have to have a City of Dallas account? So you could be in the City of Dallas and pay a third party for your water, correct?
Yes, as long as you're paying your water bill to the City of Dallas, yes, we do.
Okay.
We do offer those.
All right. Does the city do anything? She didn't specify which city, but does the city do anything to make sure the potable water is vital when it gets to my house? Is anyone trying to get the plumbing industry to use fewer brands in the pipes to keep the water vital? I'm not sure what she means by vital, V-I-T-A-L.
I would say if you're having problems, the infrastructure could be old in your area. One of the remedies that comes from water distribution is to flush out the water hydrants to get the water moving, especially on dead ends where the pipe just dead ends. That's something that the City of Dallas does every month. They do dead end flushing, and it keeps the water moving, and it flushes out that old water to get good, clean water to your pipes. But that goes along with the pipes underneath your house as well. They could be old, they could be galvanized. Galvanized pipes over time get clogged up from all the chemicals in the water. And but the City of Dallas does do flushing every month on dead end flushing throughout the city. We have an entire crew dedicated to that.
Awesome.
To make sure that you're getting good, clean water into your house.
All right.
And understand that water, if you don't use it, if you're single and you have 2 bathrooms and you use one bathroom all the time, and you know you have somebody come over and they turn on the hall bathroom, if you're not using it, you'll probably get a little bit of brown water. Always want to flush your lines out every now and then if you don't use them. But just don't be scared if it comes out a little brown. It'll flush out.
All right. When water is turned on at the tub, water drips from the faucet sink across the room. How do you fix this?
Probably have to open the wall and
Find the leak.
and find the leak. Yeah, it's pretty involved. You check all your connections and they're good. On the outside that's visible, it's more likely inside your wall.
So that's a professional job that might not be a DIY job then, right?
Right.
Okay, so how does the WaterSense aerator maintain the same flow while conserving water?
I would say the aerators, they come with GPM, which means GPM means gallons per minute. and they would be marked on the aerator or on the package. 1.2, this one here, let me get my glasses on. This one here, that'll control, yeah, this is 1.2 gallons per minute. This one here. I know that's hard to see, it's very small. And that controls how many gallons per minute that your faucet is putting out. And all faucets now have this this diverter in here that actually impacts the water flow, and it's designed to do that, to conserve water. But you can get these, you know, up 1.5, you know, depends, but you're not going to get anything unless you have a real old faucet. You're not going to get that water flow nowadays. It doesn't matter unless you take out that diverter. But I wouldn't suggest it.
All right. We got 5 minutes left in our program, so I'm going to take a couple more questions. Are bidets recommended?
Can you repeat that one?
Are bidets recommended? B-I-D-E-T.
Sorry, we're losing power. They shut the water. I mean, I'm sorry, the lights off here.
They shut the power on y'all. Okay.
I mean, I think that's a personal preference. You know, if you have the room for one and you want to use one, I mean, I think that's personal preference.
Okay. Well, Robert, Luis, thank you guys for being with us. We greatly appreciate y'all for answering all of these questions for us. Also, I want to remind everyone that this recording, this workshop is being recorded and will be available for review. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. It's been excellent learning from you both tonight. We appreciate all of your plumbing expertise. I also want to thank Beth Livingston for stopping by and sharing with us. Very special thanks go out to the City of Dallas, the City of Fort Worth, the City of Round Rock, Tarrant Regional Water Authority, and the Environmental Protection Agency for helping make this event possible. Now that we're at the end of our program, but before we get to the survey, we want to share with you each of the partners' websites where you can find more information about your region's programs and events. We will also share these links in the chat as well. Finally, we have included a link to the program survey. We have some great giveaways. Make sure you complete the survey so you have a chance to win one of our many prizes. We look forward to you joining us this Thursday, March 17th at 6 p.m. for the Fix the Leak Week Virtual Workshop Day 2, where we'll be covering outdoor leaks. Once again, my name is Ryan Perlman, and on behalf of everyone who helped put this program together, we thank you for joining us today and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.